Yo, what's going on? This is Will's Up with Chuck back with another video. Today I want to talk about a video that Scholar just put out. Scholar to hosting or something like that. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly, my good brother, but he lives in Brazil, lives in Rio de Janeiro, and he was saying how it's difficult to date in Brazil. It's not as easy as we think. And I'm gonna say, from somebody that's been going to Brazil for a long time, he's absolutely correct. And now my era is different. I started going to Brazil in 2004, and the last time I've been there was 2013. All right. So I know things are different now. I know things are different, but I did go a lot, and I got to experience a lot of the culture down there, which I love dearly. I love Brazilian culture, so I'm not taking shots at Brazil. Um, I went there 13 times total. Sometimes I would go 2 times a year. Sometimes I would go 3 times a year, and I would stay months at a time, weeks at a time, sometimes a month, sometimes a couple weeks, sometimes shit. I even went to Brazil for 3 or 4 days. That's how pressed I was to get down there. I love Brazil. But I do want to talk about what he was saying. I didn't finish his video. I watched like 5 minutes of it, but I got the point of what he was trying to say. It's not that easy. It's really not. You know, yes, if you want to meet girls that are working girls, they're pretty easy to make because they'll make themselves available to you. But we're talking about girls that have jobs, careers, college educated. They're not that easy to get with. And he's right. And I highly recommend, if that's what you want. If you want to date a Brazilian girl, you want to marry one, you're gonna have to dive into their culture. Period. The first thing you need to do is learn the language, as much of the language as you can. Brazilian Portuguese, to me, is the most beautiful language in the world. I know people say French is a nice language. I know they say Espanol is a beautiful language. Brazilian Portuguese is the most beautiful language I've heard in my life. Sounds really good. But you got to learn the language. If it takes Rosetta Stone, if it takes Pimsleur's Portuguese, if it takes flashcards, I use all those sources, but I had flashcards like this, a stack of them, and I would just flash myself to learn Portuguese. My Portuguese isn't as good as it used to be because I haven't been there in a long time. I'm not really using it like I used to, but I'm pretty sure it will come back to me once I start diving back into the culture. But yeah, man, that's the number one thing. A lot of guys aren't putting that work in to learn these languages, and they're having issues with women because you're not able to communicate with them thoroughly. Watch Brazilian movies, watch their music, all that stuff. You'll start to piece stuff together. That's what I did. I started watching all those movies in Brazil. Era uma vez, Cidade de Deus, Tropa de Elite, whatever they call that movie. I was watching all that, listening to the music, Brazilian hip hop, neo soul, samba. I call it samba. São Paulo, what they call it is samba. São Paulo has a really dope neo soul scene. I got a lot of artists that are really dope from samba that make like they make neo soul like Black Americans make it. I love pagode music. Shout out to Pashorchi. I don't know if they're still making music, but Pashorchi was a dope pagode band. All right. You got to really dive into their culture to really put yourself in a position to meet some of these girls that you want. Like I said, if you want a chick this, belongs to the night, then that's not hard to do. And I'm not judging them either. Some of those girls turn out to be really good women. A lot of them just doing it to make ends meet. So if you want to go that route, you can go that route. But, it's not easy in that way either. Because a lot of those girls, it's the education level, not to be disrespectful, but the education level isn't that high when they're, doing that. Let's be honest. Also, a lot of y'all don't want to get in shape, right? You want a girl that has this Coke bottle body, but you don't want to get in shape. That's not fair. She's taking care of herself. She's in the gym, making herself staying attractive. You got this big beer belly, and you're out of shape. You're fat. You're a dope boy. You're not gonna get a premium shorty like that. You got to be realistic. And okay, maybe you got big money. She'll rock with you for the bread, but she really don't want to be with you. So anytime you're not around, she's already letting somebody else smash. Let's be honest. I know guys in those situations. They might got money, but they're out of shape. But she's not sexually attracted to you. She's financially attracted to you. If you want to be that dude, then go for it. But I think a lot of guys go to these countries and they think that like, oh man, I'm an American, it's going to be easy, and it's not. It's not easy. And we're talking about Brazil, but I'm talking about DR. I'm talking about Costa Rica, Colombia, Thailand, Philippines, all these places. I've been to all these countries except for Colombia. But I met Colombian women in Costa Rica, and they were, they about that bread. Let's be honest. It's not easy to meet women. And we're talking about Brazil, but I'm talking about it as a whole. It's not that easy, man. I mean, look at it like this. We all know that, well, most of us know that Brazil has the largest population of blacks outside of Africa, right? So in Brazil, you'll see people that look just like you. Only way they can tell you're American is by your clothing. If you were to go down there with like just a t-shirt on, a tank top on with some beach shorts on and some flip-flops, they wouldn't know until you said something, open your mouth. Or they can tell by the way we wear our fitteds. They can tell by the way we wear our jeans and sneakers. They can tell by your swag. But for the most part, if you're trying to fit in, you can fit in and they won't know, because that's how many other black people are there. So you also got to compete against those guys, and they speak Portuguese fluently. Yeah, they might not have the money, but they got the mouthpiece. See what I'm saying? And that goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Mouthpiece go a long way. You'd be surprised. If he's decent looking, good looking guy and he got a mouthpiece on him, he can bag him. Yes, he can. Okay? That shit happens in Thailand all the time. You know what I mean? You this Farong, right? You this Farong, and you got money, but you don't understand Thai. Meanwhile, this Thai guy, he might not have the money, but he know how to talk to the women because he speaks the language. He's in his country. He's still smashing them. He's still knocking them joints down. Yes, he is. Guys, put the work in. All right, put the work in. So I'm, like I said, I'm talking about Scholar and what he said about Brazil, but I'm also talking about these other countries as well, because these same rules apply in these other countries as well. Be realistic. Be realistic, man. You have to be realistic in these places. And do your research, man, before you go to these places, man. Like even when traveling wasn't so cool as it is now, and I started traveling in 2004, I was putting in my work before I went to Brazil. Before I went to Brazil, I was looking up shit, asking questions, trying to figure out, because I knew people that had went there before me, and I would ask them a tons of questions. I would get books and shit, read books, just did my research. And this is way before the internet was popping with like a YouTube. There was no YouTube back then. There was no Instagram and all these different sources that these guys have now. So it's even you should be ashamed of yourself in this day and age, and you're not putting the work in to learn, because you have all the resources to learn. All right, you have all the resources to learn. So I highly recommend diving into Brazilian culture. If that's what you want, if you want a Brazilian girl, dive into their culture, man. And trust me, that's going to work out for you in the long run. And I'm going to say this, I'm at 9 minutes right now. I'm going to say this before I get off this video. What I have noticed about Brazilian people that come to the States, especially Paulistas, no disrespect to people from Sao Paulo, but when they're not melanated, they don't really rock with us, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been to pagode parties in DC. They're not really rocking with us. It's the melanated Brazilians that rock with black Americans in America. Let's just be honest. All right? I'm just telling you the truth. I don't know how it is in other cities. Like, I know New Jersey, I've been to Ironbound, where a lot of Brazilians are at, and they were pretty cool up there, but I didn't stay long enough to really get an idea of what was going on. But anyway, if you go up to like Boston, I know there's a lot of Brazilians up there in the New England area, then Orlando, Florida, places like that where it's a lot of Brazilians. I noticed that the melanated people will rock with you, but the people that are light skinned or white Brazilians, they're not rocking with you. Let's keep it 1,000. So keep that in mind too. In Brazil, when you're in Brazil, you can have all complexions. You'll have white Brazilians trying to holler at you. You'll have dark Brazilians trying to holler at you. But I'm talking about when they get to the States. So keep that in mind as well. If you decide to bag a light-skinned, white-looking Brazilian and you bring her to the States, she might flip the script on you. Just this is Wheels Up with Chuck. I'm gonna keep it a buck on my channel. Anyway, I'm at 10 minutes, man. I just wanted to touch briefly on what he was saying. I didn't even finish the video, but he did inspire me to talk about how it's not easy to meet a woman in Brazil. And it's true, man. It's not. Like I said, you can meet the working girls, man. They're available. But trying to meet a girl that's educated, that's got a regular job, that's not part of that, and you don't speak Portuguese, it's gonna be really hard for you, man. So trust me, man, guys. Put your work in, man, and find out what's going on. Try to learn the language. I highly recommend that. Take care of yourself, get yourself in shape, and just be realistic about your expectations, man. Because it's competition down there too. The competition is real down there, you know. And damn, I got. Let me say this before I go. I know I'm talking a little bit, but I just thought about something. I got Brazilian friends who are in and out of relationships. You know, it's a hookup culture. I mean, let's be honest. The way the world is now is turning to hookup culture because of social media and stuff like that. But this was going on even back then. I got a Brazilian friend from Africa. I'm not gonna say his name because it's my good brother. I want to put him out there. But he's been living there 20 plus years. He still ain't married, right? He's still just hooking up with girls, and it's that kind of culture. Same in Thailand. Same in Thailand. Even my wife's family. You know what I mean? I noticed that, you know, some of her cousins, they'll have a boyfriend for 2 or 3 months, and then they moving on to the next. It's a different culture, and it's happening here in the States too. It's just happening across the globe. But anyway, man, this is What's Up with Chuck. I'm digressing a little bit. Let me get off this video. Leave like, subscribe to the channel, leave comments below, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. Wheels Up with Chuck, out.